It was an intense weekend of MLS Cup playoffs, and the LA Galaxy are out of this world, winning 6-2. Was this your highlight of the quarterfinals?
Yes, I think so. I mean, obviously, we will get to the other result. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Now that I'm thinking about it, I think the other LA team in that result, what Seattle did, because they hadn't beaten the LAFC since 2021, is maybe the result of the round because you had the Galaxy as the favorites at home against Minnesota. Minnesota had been on a nice run. They had played good defensive soccer mostly, but we've had the Galaxy as favorites. Now, what we think they were going to drop 6 on Minnesota? Maybe not. I did see some grousing. I'll use that word. It seems like a nice Midwestern way to describe it. Some grousing from the Minnesota fans about the officiating in that game, Rob. I think there was some allegations of diving on the part of the Galaxy, and Ricky Pouge, he likes to make a show of things and all of that. In the end, though, the better team won the soccer game. Right, you can complain, and if you're a Loons fan, I get it today. I understand why you're a little hostile about that result, but I think on the day the better team won. They are the high flyers. We will talk more about the Galaxy later, but that was certainly a good show.
So we'll kind of go back in time. So the weekend ended with that LA Galaxy 6-2 win. Just before that, Orlando squeaking a 1-0 win, ending legend Dax McCarty's career.
Yeah, I mean, that one part of the story, just one goal. Orlando makes that stand up. Atlanta had a couple of moments, but they clearly weren't as dangerous in the attacking end as they had been against Inter Miami in one game like that. If you don't take your chances, you're going to find yourself on the end of the bad result. I am sad to see Dax McCarty end his career without an MLS Cup. That is, that is the upshot for him. But here's the numbers. And shout out to Ben Wright. I got this on Blue Sky. I'm also on Blue Sky. We're not Morning Kickaround's not on Blue Sky yet, but we probably will be.
That's a
And I'm
holiday
on
thing.
Blue Sky.
It's a holiday thing.
Yeah, maybe that's a holiday thing. Go follow me, Davis Jason, on Blue Sky. Ben Wright posting this 19 seasons, 554 appearances, 43,209 minutes, 25 goals, 79 assists, an all-star twice, a best 11 player in 2015, a Supporter Shield winner twice in 2013 and 2015, 13 caps with the U.S. men's national team, and he won the Gold Cup with that team in 2017. So an incredible career for an MLS lifer in Dax McCarty. So respect to him as he exits the stage in Orlando. What a moment for Orlando. Oscar Breja probably has never had a better chance to win an MLS Cup than he has this season with this particular team. They get it from everywhere. There's no guy that you're like, that's the one who makes this show work for Orlando. It's kind of a bunch of different pieces. Obviously, they go from Enrique, which opportunistic, call it that, but you make your own luck, right? You create that scramble, that problem in the box. You get a player free, and that's how you win games.
On Saturday, the nightcap on Saturday night, Seattle overcoming Los Angeles Football Club in extra time. Jordan Morris coming in with the winner, but the highlight, maybe a low light in this one.
Well, I mean, the Maxime Chanot own goal is going to loom large in LAFC season. They were the number one overall seed in the Western Conference. After Inter Miami's defeat against Atlanta, they had every hope, every reason to believe they were going to be hosting MLS Cup. Right? Obviously, you would have to get past somebody in the West, maybe the Galaxy, but there was reason to believe that LAFC could go and win another title after last year's disappointment, and they were in control. I mean, I'm not saying they were good on the evening. I think Denis Bouanga had one of his least effective games, and maybe credit to the Sounders for the plan to slow him down. No Nuhu in this game for Seattle, which was something of a setback. I did see a little bit of an argument as to whether or not Nuhu's been as good a defender this year as he has been in the past. So maybe it wasn't as big of a loss. Bell played pretty well in Nuhu's stead. And again, Jordan Morris gets a lot of flack, but he's a very good soccer player, particularly in this league. I don't know. I'd have to go back and look at the goal a couple more times in extra time to see how much Hugo Lloris is responsible, kind of culpable. It's a pretty good shot. I mean, there's nothing wrong with the shot. It just, you wonder if Lloris, like 4 years younger, gets to that or has a better read on it than he did.
Yeah, that's a good point there. I mean, it was a bit of a scrappy one in the box, turns and shoots from close range. I mean, Yeah, maybe if he's at his cat-like best, he maybe even closes that down more. He reads the first touch, turn and shot. But I mean, that it is what it is. And Los Angeles FC are out. They were
That's
the
that's the um
to
that's
this.
the slogan for these playoffs in 2024. It is what it is. That's what all the players were saying about the big break. We're not really talking. I will say I'm glad we're not really talking about how the break impacted anybody. Doesn't seem it probably was a factor, but it's not something we're kind of like focusing on or making a big issue out of. It was good to have the playoffs back.
The first of the quarterfinals Saturday afternoon, the New York Derby, the Hudson River Derby, New York Red Bulls winning over NYCFC, probably this weekend's top soccer game in a baseball stadium. Maybe, I don't know, Colorado. No,
Uh,
that wasn't a
No,
real
no, that's
stadium. That
that's a
wasn't a
that's
real
a
stadium.
proper soccer stadium out in Colorado Springs. How dare you, Robert Kerr? Don't disrespect the USL Championship like that. They didn't play their final in a baseball stadium, unlike Major League Soccer playing a playoff game in a baseball stadium. The Red Bulls are a Cinderella story. Like if you're picking one out, it's the Red Bulls, which I think a lot of people struggle to root for any team from the New York metropolitan area. If you are not from the New York metropolitan area, it's baked into a lot of us, that you just don't root for the New York teams unless you absolutely have to. Orlando is a good story too. I have a lot of respect for Oscar Pereira. I talked about the group of players they have getting it done for them. But I'm kind of rooting for the upset here in this Eastern Conference final, Rob. And I think the Red Bulls deserved it. They absolutely deserved that. First goal was an absolute hammer. It was a fantastic goal for the Red Bulls.
Yeah, and would you say, I mean, we're going to come back to this later on, but would you say that New York Red Bulls might be the getting hot at the right time team of
Yeah.
this tournament?
Absolutely. I mean, we talk that is the story in the MLS Cup playoffs. They get hot at the right time, you have a chance to win a title, even if you're the 5 or 6 or 7 or whatever seed that you are. The last couple of years have kind of put lie to the idea that the lowest seeds can really make a run. This year, a little bit different. I mean, Atlanta, the 9 seed, beating the number 1 seed, getting themselves into that opportunity against Orlando. And of course, they didn't come up with the victory, but that means Orlando, a 4, and New York Red Bulls, a 7, are playing for the right to go to the MLS Cup final. And, with the way things look in the overall table now, you've got you got no chance at all for either of those teams to host that final. So they know they're going out west, which, maybe colors things a little bit differently. Last game of the season for Orlando at home, every reason to believe that they can win it. But the Rebels will put up a fight. They're very difficult to play against.
So the semifinals are set. Orlando, Seattle, or actually New York Red Bulls versus Orlando and LA Galaxy versus Seattle, all going down at the same time on November 30th.